Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another ProBoh Show. The penultimate of this year. Oh my God. Makes me sad, guys. I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to England on Sunday, so there'll be no more shows. I probably post things on my social media and whatnot if you're following me on them. It's @PROBOH, ProBoh on Twitter. But everywhere else, Professional Bohemian. Of course, you can keep up with previous episodes of the show. It's been quite a year, guys. It's been quite a year. All right, let's see what's coming up in today's show. In today's 100 Humans, I asked them to name common small talk. Small talk, I think you say in Spanish, charla trivial or conversación trivial. Common small talk topics. Or in today's Complete the News, we'll find out why a dolphin in Greece, un delfín. We'll find out why a dolphin in Greece was única, or único. And if we have time, we'll find out about some thieves in Colorado. That's a good story. And in today's unpopular opinion, we find out about the concept of personal branding. The concept of personal branding, and if it's creating superficial interactions between us. And all that, friends, coming up in a few minutes. Right now, I'm here, you're here. Let's see what's going on in the world. Eugene's with us in the chat, as is Vero. Eugene says, now you have snow too, yeah. The decorations in the ProBoh home studio, my friends. If you're not checking it out, it looks I went a little overboard. I don't mind saying it. I love Christmas. It's 4 degrees around here, says Vero. Vero also in Madrid. If you're an international listener, we produce a show from Madrid, Spain. And yeah, it's cold. That's cold for Madrid. It'll get colder too. I wonder if we're expecting another Filomena. It never snows in Madrid. If you've never been here, it never snows here. Except for 1 year. Apropos of nothing. We got like feet upon feet, inches upon inches of snow. Commonly referred to as the Filomena. Oh God, I would love it. I love the snow. Anyway, let's get into some news, friends. I'm here, you're here. Let's see what's going on in the world today. Okay, let's dive into. We've got a lot of... we've got little AI news. Let's get into this one. Elon Musk's new AI bot, el nuevo bot de inteligencia artificial de Elon Musk, Grok, it's called, Grok, causes a stir. Causa revuelo, would you say? Causes a stir, causes controversy. New AI bot, Grok from Elon Musk, causes a stir by citing OpenAI's usage policy. Say what? Revielo, thank you, Vero.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
So yeah, Elon Musk's new AI bot, Grok, created by his company xAI, has caused controversy by occasionally responding as if it were a product by OpenAI. Revuelo. Oh, she corrected herself. I don't know who's getting it wrong or right now at this point, Vero. Yeah, OpenAI, obviously the company founded and ran by Sam Altman, famous for ChatGPT. Well, apparently, Grok, when answering questions, Elon Musk's AI bot. Elon, go home, sir, you're drunk. When answering questions, it answers as if it were a product from OpenAI, using OpenAI's usage policy, which is really weird. There is a reason for it. Let's dig in more to this article. The company behind ChatGPT, OpenAI. Anyway, this unusual behavior was noticed when Grok cited OpenAI's usage policy in its responses, despite not being an OpenAI creation. XAI acknowledged the issue, suggesting it inadvertently picked up ChatGPT outputs from the web using Grok's training. However, some experts are skeptical, believing that Grok was likely fine-tuned using datasets that included ChatGPT output, rather than this being a mere accident. Which means that Elon's buddies over there trained their AI using a better AI. I love it. Oh, Elon. Elon, isn't killing monkeys enough for you? You know, this incident highlights the growing practice of using outputs from existing AI models, like those from OpenAI, to fine-tune new AI models, raising questions about methods and ethics of AI development. Now, you know, you almost can't believe. I mean, OpenAI and the products that they offer are kind of amazing. And at some point, and we're reaching the point now, I believe, that there isn't enough written material to continue training AI. So they're almost forced to train it on outputs from better models. And this we can see not just in large language models, in AI art, in AI, you know, the AI they use for auto driving cars. They're using artificially generated footage of streets. It's crazy. It's a world, my friends. Next up. Do you want to know about Donald Trump? No, let's keep him out of the show today. Okay, ebooks. Oh, Baldy's going to spoil ebooks now. Wah, wah, wah. Ebooks are fast becoming tools of corporate surveillance. This coming from fastcompany.com. Ebooks are fast becoming tools of corporate surveillance. Los libros electrónicos se están convirtiendo rápidamente en herramientas de vigilancia corporativa. Oh,
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
The article discusses the growing concern about ebooks becoming tools of corporate surveillance. It highlights that a significant portion of Americans who read ebooks, often through platforms like Amazon Kindle, are unknowingly subjected to extreme or extensive data collection by both publishers and tech companies. Oh, tech, can you not even let us have books? I've got to admit, I don't know if any of you guys watching the show kind of are into the whole, os gusta el mundillo este de los ebooks. If you like the whole revolution, ebook revolution. I personally don't. I prefer to read without the necessity of batteries. Maybe that just makes me old school or whatever, but that's how I consume written material, if it's not news or things like that. So this would not affect me. Like when I go to England, I usually come back with like 3 or 4 books. That is why I prefer audiobooks as very okay, interesting. So let's continue with this. This data collection extends beyond reading habits and could include sensitive information, such as interests in topics like abortion, with no federal laws in place to prevent this surveillance. My God, this article went took a dark turn immediately. The article underscores the intersectional threats of reader surveillance. And calls for federal lawmakers to investigate and address the harms caused by tech companies' surveillance. This surveillance poses significant risks, especially to the post-Roe landscape. As you know, the Roe v. Wade was overturned in the US. If you're a US listener, this is no news for you. But apparently, a lot of government agencies there, they are surveilling people via audiobooks to see their interest in abortion. Oh, God. American government, come on, man. Is this not? Are we not like living in 1984? George Orwell's 1984. You know what annoys me is that we just give away our freedom for the sake of convenience.
Here, yeah, you can spy on me as long as I can have my audiobooks and my books, my ebooks, and I can post my photos.
I mean, look, I'm not criticizing, man. I'm exactly the same. I'm exactly the same. I've handed over all my privacy in exchange for convenience and the ability to obtain likes. I'm just like you, but I'm at the point where I'm getting to the end of my tether with the fact that we are being spied upon, and especially okay, so this is in the US primarily, this news, but don't tell me that Amazon Kindle isn't a global piece of tech. I have Amazon Kindle automatically installed in my mobile phone. It's crazy. Yeah, but given that I don't use it, I suppose I'm not under any threat. The good thing about being a European, the good thing about Europe is that at least the EU seems to really care about what happens with our data. From the GDPR law that was a nightmare for marketers to their current blocks on certain Facebook products. I'm thinking here about particularly about threads that didn't meet the privacy requirements. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Europe are doing that are the net benefit for we the users. But, as fast as they legislate something, there'll be a new loophole, and that just makes me sad. Anyway, let's get into the final piece of news today, which is a supercomputer, a superordenador, I think you say, a supercomputer that simulates the entire human brain. Todo el cerebro humano will switch on in 2024.
It's Judgment Day.
Un superordenador que simula todo el cerebro humano se encenderá en 2024.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Yeah. Are you scared by that? I'm not scared by that. If it's a real human brain, it'll do very little. It'll just want to watch Netflix and be left alone. A neuromorphic supercomputer named Deep South, capable of performing 228 trillion synaptic operations per second, is set to launch in Australia in 2024. This performance level is comparable to the human brain's operational capacity. Developed by the International Centre for Neuromorphic Systems in Sydney, in collaboration with leading computer technology manufacturers, Deep South aims to simulate the full scale of a human brain's synapses. This endeavor is expected to provide insights into how the brain processes vast amounts of information efficiently with minimal power consumption. Wow, that is crazy news. A supercomputer, capable of operating at the same levels of the human brain. It's interesting. This could teach us so much, not just about how the brain can function using so little power. Okay, which is arguably a very important thing, given the amount of power consumption currently used by artificial intelligence. But it'd be interesting. Our insights, as you know, I'm fascinated by by consciousness. Both in scientific. In the realms of science, which science offers very little insight into consciousness, both in science and philosophically. I've read quite a bit about it. I've listened to and watched quite a bit about it. So it's fascinating to me to see how if this opens any windows into this fascinating realm, which is consciousness. Who knows? Maybe we're going to create the first living machine, guys. Vero says that's in 2 weeks. Scary, yeah. It is scary. Okay, guys, on that note, let's move on to today's Unpopular Opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
All right, guys, it's Unpopular Opinion time. How are we doing out there, folks? Unpopular Opinion time. Today's brain fart. Today's pedo cerebral. Today's pedo mental. Today's rayada is the concept of personal branding is creating superficial interactions. The concept of personal branding is creating superficial interactions. Okay, personal branding. First of all, what even is personal branding? Let's get into it. I have a definition right here. Personal branding is the conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception of an individual by positioning them as an authority in their industry or elevating their credibility. I would argue that personal branding can even mean more than that. Personal branding is the image that you portray of yourself in social media, digitally, in public. Personal branding. Like prior to the 90s, people didn't have brands. They were just people. So yeah, let's get into this. Is the pervasion of marketing into our personal lives becoming commodities as we are? Are we creating more superficial interactions by that? As you know, I always post the polls on Instagram first, okay? And Instagram, when I made this statement, said 91% true. 91% true. Let's dig into this. Let's dig into this right now. Okay, I thoroughly tortured the elves today. They gave me some pros and cons. So, does personal branding lead to superficial interactions? In the pro column, personal branding often involves curating an image or persona that may not fully align with one's true self. This can lead to interactions based on a superficial image rather than genuine personality traits. Now, we see this more often than not in social media, right?
I'm super organic, vegan, pescatarian.
You know what I mean? And it kind of is a little, or at least I get the sense when I interact with people online, that it's a little bit of a one-dimensional portrayal of who that person is. And of course, when you're interacting with someone who only knows you through that superficial platform or that superficial platforming that you portray, then you're always going to answer and interact in line with that persona that you've created. Does that make sense? Let's continue in the pro column. Personal branding can emphasize self-promotion and marketing interactions may become more about advancing one's brand rather than forming meaningful connections. Yeah, right? So we're all trying to be, we are all. I know we're not all. But there certainly are people out there that are actively trying to become influencers in the online space. So, like, if you think of yourself as a brand, then how are you going to be completely honest in your interactions without in some way damaging your brand? You know what I mean? Luckily enough, I've been told my brand is being grumpy, which aligns quite strongly with who I am.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
And because I enjoy the taste of people's tears, I'm generally speaking I'm quite on brand most of the time. Let's continue. The need to uphold a certain brand image can lead individuals to engage in interactions that are more about preserving their image rather than being authentic and honest. Now, here is where I fall into this category sometimes. They're not often, but sometimes. Not so much on social media, more often than not in this show. I find myself tempering my real opinions or kind of hiding kind of stronger opinions behind comedy so as not to offend, to try and make as many people happy as possible. If you think there's a celebrity out there that doesn't do that, then you are sorely mistaken. Like, I'm not a celebrity and I'm doing it. Imagine the added pressure of being famous. So personal brands almost forces a person to communicate like a PR agency. And we're not PR agencies, or we don't have PR departments. We're just people. Let's continue. When people are overly focused on their brand, they might limit their interactions to those that align with or enhance their brand, potentially missing out on diverse experiences and viewpoints. So I used to operate quite a lot in the art niche, which led my interactions to be 9 times out of 10 with artists online. I'm referring to, not so much now. So yeah, obviously that really narrows the scopes of the kind of interactions I could have been or should have been having online. And then, of course, think about if you're quite political online. You're going to end up falling into a social media bubble where you're only interacting with like-minded people. And again, that's why this show exists, to kind of actively promote and seed different ideas. Or at least say, that ideas aren't facts. Opinions, come in all different shapes and sizes, and we should be listening to them all. Okay, so yeah, let's get into the con arguments now. Clarity of purpose. A well-defined personal brand can help individuals communicate their core values and interests in a more clearly leading to deeper and more meaningful interactions with like-minded people. Professional networking in professional context, personal branding is crucial for career development. It can facilitate more targeted and productive networking, connecting individuals with relevant opportunities and collaborations. Authentic self-expression. For many, personal branding is a form of self-expression. It allows them to showcase their authentic selves and attract interactions based on genuine shared interests or values. Adaptation to the digital age. In an increasingly digital world, personal branding is often a necessity. It allows individuals to navigate social media and professional platforms effectively, which can lead to substantial and meaningful interactions both online and offline. So there's a really great point about personal branding, right? Quite often, it would be to our detriment in the digital age to be fully ourselves online. I mean, human nature itself leads us to interact with certain sections of society in a different way. We've said this many times on the show, we tend to think of ourselves as an island. We are who we are, and nothing changes, but that's not the truth. You don't talk to your boss the same way as you talk to your 5-year-old niece. You don't talk to your next door neighbor or your best friend the same way you talk to your bank manager. We always represent a certain side of ourselves to the world, depending on who we're talking to, right? We are not fixed individuals. We are always multifaceted, and personal branding is just another way to say that, perhaps. Online or in professional interactions, this is who I am. And, to a certain extent, yeah. I mean, why can't you just express yourself the way you want? If you want to express yourself with a certain set of ideals so as not to upset, offend, or affect your business, then why shouldn't you do that? Maybe interactions aren't superficial, they're just more focused. Interesting point. Anyway, those are some opinions, some pros and cons from the ProBoh Show elves. Right now, I'm going to ask our live audience to share their views. Okay, true or false? The concept of personal branding is creating superficial interactions. Guys, so many things you could have been doing this morning. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. I'll see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show.
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ProBoh Show. If you're just tuning in, what did you miss? We looked at Elon Musk. Elon Musk's new AI bot, Grok, causing a stir, causing controversy by citing OpenAI's usage policy. Yeah, so it seems that Elon's new AI is being trained on on ChatGPT information. Yeah, I mean, look, does that surprise anyone from Elon? But yeah, more and more these language models are running out of language to consume, so it's almost inevitable that most bots will be trained on information and material generated by other better bots. It's going to happen. It's happening already. Then we looked at ebooks becoming a tool of corporate surveillance. Platforms like Amazon Kindle people that use products like Amazon Kindle are unknowingly subjected to extensive data collection. Yeah. Yeah, scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. And also I'm a big fan of print media, especially when it comes to books. I mean, come on. I've kind of, for an old dog, I've learned the new trick of not owning physical media in terms of movies and music, but I'm a bit old school when it comes to books. I'm looking forward to getting back to England actually this year to buy a few new books. I've been recommended some. Ooh, exciting stuff. And then finally, we looked at the supercomputer that will be launched in 2024. Only 2 weeks, says Vero. That will be launched in 2024 in Australia. A supercomputer that can simulate the entire human brain. It's capable of performing 228 trillion synaptic operations. Craziness. Yeah. Not only is this interesting in terms of computing, finding out how the human brain can operate with such little power consumption, which will become more and more important in the future, but also maybe an interesting insight into consciousness, which is something that not only science struggles to answer, but philosophy too. So it would be being a fan of insights into consciousness. I'm going to be following that news story with some great detail. Then we got into today's unpopular opinion, which is the concept of personal branding is creating superficial interactions. Personal branding is a tough subject. We looked at certain things like how we are becoming products that we ourselves market, how we operate quite often like our own PR agencies. On the true side of this argument, right? How can you represent fully yourself when you're only showing half of the image? But then we looked at the cons also, that personal branding does not necessarily lead to superficial interactions, right? Don't we all always only represent a certain part of ourselves to the world? You know, we've said this many times on the show. We tend to think of ourselves as islands, as complete. We're always projecting the complete us 100% of the time, and that's not true. I'm quite a genuine guy. But I don't talk to my nieces the same way as I talk to Richard Vaughan or my bosses. I don't talk to my bank manager like I do my best friends. You know, we're multifaceted individuals that constantly only project one image of ourselves. Is there really a problem if we project professionally a certain image of ourselves? I don't think so. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong about that. Because when we asked people on Instagram, they said 91% true. I did get some other comments on Instagram. Let's get into those in a second. Your elves are rebelling, says Vero. Yeah, true story. Chris Valrall, how you doing? Good morning. And Friday Con joining us all the way from South Africa. How you doing, my dude? Okay, let's get into some comments I received on Instagram. I think it's all about balance, says Eliza. Sure, personal branding can feel a bit show-offy. How would you say it? Show-offy in Spanish. Un poco presumido, would you say? Do I get a nivelazo? You have to tell me. But it's also a way to express who you really are. I try to keep it real with my followers, says Eliza. David, or David, I don't know where you're from, says, I see personal branding as a necessary tool. It's about presenting yourself professionally, especially in a competitive market. Okay, true story. Tara says, from a psychological perspective, this obsession with personal branding can be quite harmful. It often leads to a focus on surface level interactions. Okay, Tara, let's talk, you and I. You seem to have a little insight into psychology. So let's interact for a second, you and I. Can lead to surface level interactions. Living in the real world, as I do, outside of the ProBoh studio, 90% of my interactions are superficial. What interaction? You're not in an elevator saying, so tell me, how do you feel about love? Do you think we'll ever create a computer capable of feeling emotions? No, you talk about the weather, you talk about your job, you talk about politics or the news. 99% of our interactions are superficial, as is small talk, charla trivial, you know what I mean, or conversación trivial. The social lubricant that helps us delve into deeper matters later on. Personal branding is just, I think it's just a pop psychology phrase that we've come to describe what has always been the multifaceted nature of human interaction, right? Tara, you obviously, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but imagine you've studied psychology and you speak to your colleagues or your fellow alumni. You're probably not talking to them the same way over beers as you talk, on a Friday night after college, as you are talking to them in a professional setting, in a clinic or at work or anything. We are multifaceted, and we often, I think, forget the value in understanding that about ourselves. You can't always portray the true you. I don't talk to my nieces the same way as I talk to you guys on the radio. I don't talk to you guys on the radio the same way as I talk to my boss. We are multifaceted, and not any side of those interactions that I have that are different among different demographic or different people. All of that is me. All of those facets combined makes me who I am. And if I want to portray a certain kind of more professional side of myself, whether that be online, that my personal brand of being a media marketing communication specialist, then so be it. That is no less me than the side of me that loves to joke about religion and talk about politics and things like that. No less. They're all facets of the person that I am. I think we do well as a society to remember that. Leo says, totally superficial in my opinion. We should be building communities, not personal brands. It's all about genuine connection, not this brand me culture. It's missing the point of real human interaction, says Leo. Fair point, Leo. I understand what you're saying. We should be building communities rather than brands, but consider this. On the back of our personal branding, communities are created. Okay, I've already made the argument for the fact that for the fact that we are multifaceted, right? If you're a member of the art community on Reddit or on Instagram or whatever, there is a community there that you walk into, and you gain your passage, your rite of passage, simply by making or by reflecting that value in your personal branding. Do you understand what I'm saying? For me, the idea of personal branding and creating community are one in the same quite often. If I'm in the joke sphere, like when I was an influencer on what was formerly Twitter. Well, an influencer, I had like 40,000 followers in Twitter's infancy. And you know, I would interact with the hashtags. I would kind of get involved, piggyback off of other people's jokes. You know, at no point would I break character and get into off-topic things like, let's talk about the nature of love. Because my personal brand at that moment was comedy, you know? And guess what? Made a ton of friends. Other Twitter comedians, people who followed and liked my jokes. Community was built around the idea of that personal brand. And that personal brand, guess what? A big part of it was me. Even though it's not it wasn't a compilation of all my hopes and dreams and thoughts. Let's see. Friday Con says, it comes down to communication strategies and how roles affect the interaction.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Vero says, who are you now, Rob? Professional Rob, influential Rob, fun Rob? On the radio, I am very close to the person that I am. The only difference, I think, is that I try and speak a little more clearly. That's the only difference. That's why I have so much fun doing the show. Okay, anyway. So, I made the statement. Let's find out what you guys think. I made the statement that the concept of personal branding is creating superficial interactions. You guys said 67% true. Yeah. I am all right. Whereas I don't necessarily 100% agree, it's worth bearing in mind the sage advice from Grandpa Bo. Opinions, they're like buttholes. Everyone has one, they all stink, including mine. But I will leave off today with a final thought. Whereas it's true, we are multifaceted individuals. Oh, Chris Valroll here says, in theory, all this personal branding thing seems very useful, but perhaps degenerated. Always be yourself, please, says Vero. Yeah. But what is yourself, right? What is yourself? Is yourself the way you talk to your parents? Is yourself the way you talk to your kids? Is yourself the way you interact with your colleagues at work? Is yourself the way you talk to your partner? What is yourself? I would argue yourself are all those things and more. The more being the internal self that you share with no one. We are multifaceted individuals. Sure, we can have a personal brand of comedy, or we can have a personal brand of marketing professional. But that is no less you than the you that you share with your best friends, right? And our interactions becoming more superficial, because that's the question. After saying everything that I've said and reading the results of both a poll on Instagram and a live poll, here's what I'll say. That yes, they probably are, in certain sections, creating superficial interactions. But 95% of our interactions are superficial anyway, friends. We're not digging deep with everyone. There's a side of ourselves we probably only share with our partners, best friends, family. But 95% of our interactions are done in elevators, shouting across the office to a colleague. Most of our interactions tend to be in some way superficial. You know? We're not having deep conversations 100% of the time. So, is the concept of personal branding creating superficial interactions? Yes. But I wouldn't say any more so than it has throughout history. And on that note, guys, let's go to today's 100 Humans. My God, a really serious show today. Why is Rob so serious? Because of his internet issues. All right, anyway, let's get into today's unpopular opinion. It was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys, and on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. Today's question was, name common topics for small talk. Name common small talk topics. Temas comunes de conversación o charla trivial. I asked them that question, they gave me their answers. I'm in possession of the top 7 answers right here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. A big thanks to Ravdos, Materia Oscura, Pedro, Macvia, Vero, CJ, Barbas, Pilar, that's all folks, B. Lopez, and Nessa Vanessa for interacting on Instagram with this. Sorry, pardon me. Here we go. Vero and Chris Valrol in the live audience say weather. As did Nessa Vanessa, B. Lopez, Pilar, that's all folks, CJ Barbas, Vero McVia, or MC Via, and Pedro and Ravdos in Instagram. Yeah, weather. We're getting the feeling this is a number one answer, guys. Did they say that? Of course they did. Well done, guys. Well done. Weather is there, and guess what? Of course, it's the number one answer. Congratulations to all you guys who said that on Instagram too. The weather. Number one answer, 38 of 100 humans said weather. All right. FridayCon says video games. Is video games there? No, it's not. It's a good answer, but it's not there. Playing video games is considered something, right? It's, we put it under the umbrella term with several other activities. That is there. But video games in isolation is not. Let's turn our attention, while you're making more guesses in the chat, let's turn our attention to Instagram again. Materia Oscura said children. Children. Guess we could expand that out to mean family, right? Family. Is family a common small talk subject? Family. Materia Oscura killing it. Well done. Family is there. 6 of 100 humans said family. It's in 5th place. All right. Traffic, says Vero. Traffic. It's a great answer. Traffic. Eee. I want to give it to you, but I don't think I can. It's a great answer, but it's not there. It's not there. FridayCon has answered something that I would say it falls under. FridayCon here says current news. So news. That could be traffic, right? News. Is news there? Yes, it is. Well done, Conman. News is there. 5 of 100 humans said news is in 6th place. You guys have 1, 2, 3 left to get. Ooh. Price increases. The cost of living crisis. I would say that falls under news, wouldn't you? That's news. Okay, so you've got 3 more to get. So what else do we have? Work, says Conman. Work. Is work there? Yes, it is. Well done. Work is there. It's the second most popular answer, with 18 of 100 humans saying work. So 3 more to get. 3 more to get. The 3rd, 4th, and 7th most popular answer. All right, let's see. News. Okay, let's turn our attention back to Instagram for a second. We have sports here. I think that falls under news. Politics, says Ravdos. I say that would fall under news as well. Ravdos also says photos of Rob. No. No one's talking about that. If anyone sees a photo of me, they immediately wipe it from their brains as painful memories. Okay, I'm going to have to give you guys some clues. I'm seeing a lot of answers in the chat. Sports, how a person's day was, shows and movies, pets from Chris Valrol. They're all good answers, but they are not there. Let me give you a clue. Right after the summer, this is probably the most common topic of small talk. Right after the summer. What do people do in the summer? FridayCon says YouTube videos. That's how I spend my summer. Just watching YouTube videos. Good answer, but Con? It's not there. Chris Valrol says holidays or travel, right? Travel. Is travel there? Of course it is. Well done. 7th most popular answer, with 5 of 100 humans saying travel. Okay, guys, you're so close to getting this now. Only 2 more to get. Back to school, work. We've had work as an answer, Vero. Good one. It was there. Okay. This probably the most common small talk on a Friday evening or a Monday morning. On a Friday, I always ask Nacho on the show what his plans are for this. Vero has an answer. Come on, it was easy. That was a good clue. Vero says, weekend. Well done. Well done. Weekend was there. Friday Con, I'm so far disconnected from the normal small talk. It's funny, says Conman. Yay! Yeah, kind of me too, Con. That's what happens when you spend too much time online, or, you're an isolationist like me. Fiesta, says Chris Valrol. No, it's not there. Parties is not there, but the weekend as a subject would be. Okay, there's one thing left to do. I used to paint. That was my principal, one of these things. Some people like train spotting. Alberto Alonso likes plane spotting. Drawing, painting, reading, watching certain TV shows. They would all fall under this umbrella word. Come on, guys. You know this. Friday Con has it. Let's see if anyone else can guess this. Playing video games, to answer your question, Con, or watching YouTube videos falls under this. You're not so far disconnected, my friend. So Friday Con says hobbies, pasatiempos. Is hobbies there? Or aficiones, I think you might say. Is it there? Of course it is. Well done, my friend. Well done. You're doing God's work. Hobbies was there with how many? With 8 of 100 humans saying it. It's in 4th place. Let's very quickly have a look at those answers. All right, in position, when I asked 100 humans to name small talk topics, in position number 7, we had travel, vacaciones, viajes. In position number 6, we had the news, noticias. In position number 5, we had family, familia, right? In position number 4, we had the weekend, we had hobbies, aficiones or pasatiempos. In position number, I have completely lost. There we go. 3, we had the weekend, el fin de semana. In position number 2, we had work, trabajo. And finally, in position number 1, the weather, el tiempo. Well done, guys. Oh, what happened there? Shut up, 100 humans. Aficiones, says Vero. Thank you, Vero. You get.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
All right, let's quickly move on to today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
Okay, I think we only have time for one today, sadly, guys. So let's do the best one. And nature. Complete the News. This is Complete the News. I'm going to give you a real news headline, but I'm going to leave out some important information. With the 3 options I give you, you have to complete the news. Okay, so here we go. A unique dolphin with blank spotted by researchers in Greece. A unique dolphin with blank is spotted by researchers in Greece. Un delfín único con blanc avistado por investigadores en Grecia. Avistado? Is that right? Am I right in saying that? Or visto por investigadores en Grecia. A unique dolphin, un delfín único. Okay, is it... I love this piece of news. Is it A, dolphin with 3 eyes? Tres ojos. Is it B, a dolphin with thumbs, pulgares, thumbs? Or is it C, legs, patas, piernas? Woo! Oh my God, what kind of a weirdo dolphin are we talking about? A unique dolphin with blank spotted by researchers in Greece? Is it A, 3 eyes, tres ojos, B, thumbs, pulgares, or C, legs, patas or piernas? A, B, or C? Ooh, there's a tie in the chat right now. There's a tie between B and C. We need someone to be the tiebreaker. Come on, my friends. You can do this. I think any of these would be equally terrifying, right? It's 3 eyes. No one's saying 3 eyes because they think it's just a Simpsons thing. Blinky the dolphin. Okay, all right. It's a tie between B and C. Okay, let's see if you guys are right. Half a point each. Okay, here we go. Unique dolphin with... The answer is B, thumbs. Congratulations if you said B. Well done to you, Chris. Here we go. Researchers from the Pelagos Cetacean Research Institute in Greece have discovered a unique striped dolphin with thumb-like flippers in the Gulf of Corinth. This rare sighting, the first of its kind in 30 years of research, suggests the dolphin's unusual flipper morphology might be due to rare genetic variations, with the isolated dolphin population of about 1,300 in the Gulf. Despite its distinct flippers, the dolphin was observed swimming and playing normally with its pod. Experts believe the thumb-like flippers could be a result of altered genetics affecting flipper development, a theory supported by the fact that both flippers are affected. This discovery adds to our understanding of marine mammal biology. And also, you know, if the dolphin likes something you said, it can show its approval. All right, my friends, look, that's all we've got time for today. Tomorrow is the last show of the year. That makes me very sad. Guys, so many things you could have been doing today. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. See you next time.